This is my arm wrestling machine that I invented and made myself. Just want to talk about it a little bit. The tabletop is 40 inches high. The handles are 36 inches apart, just like a regular arm wrestling table. From there, I made the frames 24 inches by 24 inches. These handles come off. That way the machine will fit through any normal size door. The whole frame itself is solidly welded together. It's one unit. Most of the frame is made out of 1/4 inch steel. Some of it is 3/8 inch steel. The top diamond plate, that's 12 gauge, 1/8 inch thick. The machine altogether weighs about 330 pounds. Now I'll talk a little bit about the features on the machine. The machine is designed for either a right hand puller or a left hand puller. And all you have to do is just spin the handle around. A little bit about this handle is actually have a torsion spring built into the handle, so you can actually torque this handle up if you want to, and then grab it. That way you can work your wrist as you're doing it. And the handle torques either way, left or right. It just depends on which hand you're working. This handle is also adjustable for different length arms for different size people. I'll put it up to the next notch up, just wiggle it up. Put the pin back in, and you're all set. I'll put it back to the adjustment that I like, which is right about in the middle. Just show you a little bit how this thing works. Torque the handle up and grab the handle the way you want to. Pull it a little bit so you got this cable nice and tight. Put your elbow down and just push it down. Now we'll talk about this a little bit. This machine has about 3 very unique things on it. First thing was the handle. Second thing is this cable right here. This gives you back pressure. I have this machine designed so you have constant back pressure throughout the whole motion, the way this cable works through the pulleys. So even all the way down here, you still got back pressure. The way this cable is too is I have 5 different adjustments for your back pressure. You can either have it at the lowest setting, which is easy enough to change this quick link down here, or you can have it at the highest setting, which would probably give you too much back pressure. But I figure that's a personal preference, so you decide where you want to put this link, whether you want a little bit of back pressure or a lot of back pressure. And this cable is connected directly to the weight stack, so that as you increase your weight, your back pressure increases too. Another unique feature about this is your side pressure. I have a 150-pound weight stack on this, and that's connected directly to this and to this big pulley here, which is handmade by me. And one of the unique features about this pulley too is if you have 60 pounds of resistance here, the pulley actually is more or less a cam, so the further you get it down, the harder it's going to get. So if you start off at 60 pounds of resistance, you're going to have about 70 by the time you get down to the end. And then it goes both ways, whether you're right-handed or left-handed. Talk a little bit about this. I got 2 heavy-duty bearings here. I have 2 more heavy-duty bearings here. This little jack shaft here is 3/4 inch steel. This jack shaft right here is 1 inch solid steel. This part here, this is 1 inch solid steel with 4 holes in it for your up and down adjustment for different length arms. Now these handles here, besides having a rubber grip on them, I have this welded to the angle iron here. Plus I have a big washer here with a nut on the top, or a bolt on the top, so that you get a good grip and you won't have to worry about your hand coming off. Another unique feature about this is the way I have the weight stack set up is that if you have the weight stack on 60 pounds, this is what you're going to have here, is about 60 pounds. I've seen too many exercise machines where you'll put the weight stack on 100 pounds and you'll do it 20 times and you'll think you're really strong, and actually it's not that you're doing 100 pounds. with the way the cams and pulleys are, you're only doing about half that. So I made sure when I designed this, so whatever you have the weight stack set at, that's what you're going to have on here. So if you have a weight stack set at 100 pounds, you're going to have 100 pounds of resistance right here. If you have it set at 150, that's what you're going to have here. And at the same time, the further you go down, that's going to increase. Another unique feature about this is I actually have 3 positions for this handle. You have 45, straight up, which is 90, or 135. So if you want to practice at a different angle, just put the pin in there and just practice. Just take the pin up when you get done. Put it back straight up. And that's that for that. Now on this machine I have 6 pulleys on here, and all 6 pulleys are solid steel with replaceable bearings. They're all heavy duty, so they'll last a long time. Let me talk a little bit about the weight stack. Let me move the camera. The weight stack's 150 pounds, but I've had a few people say 150 pounds isn't heavy enough for them. So what I've done is I've welded 2 1-inch solid steel pegs on each side. So if you want to add extra weight, you can do that. So if 150 isn't enough for you and you want to make it 200, just slap on 50 more pounds on these pegs and you're all set. Another feature I have on this is I have the safety bar here. This is for 2 reasons. First one is to keep your feet from going in here and hitting the weight stack. And the other feature is that you can move this up or down. This whole frame is basically welded together except for this. This comes off. But like for example, my 8-year-old son, he likes to practice on this machine. So I'll put this down here for him. That way he can stand on this and then he's just the right height for the machine. Or some guys, they like to take a chance and just take this bar off completely so they can put their feet right there. I kind of advise against it because you might get your foot stuck underneath the weight plates, but they still do it, but that's up to you. Whoever buys the machine, that's up to you and how you want to do it. And so if you want a machine that has lots of side pressure, you want lots of good back pressure throughout the entire motion, and you want a handle that you have to torque up and work your wrist at the same time as you're doing it, this is the machine. At the same time, I have 2 stops right here, so you don't have to worry about hitting your knuckles on the diamond plate. Basically, the way that's set up is you can only push it down so far, and you have your gap there. So just push it down as far as you can till it stops, and then just let it back up. And another thing about this machine, because I did weld it all together, this machine is solid. It doesn't move. You know, when I get it shipped to you, it'll be on a pallet, and it weighs about 330 pounds. And that's about it.